Being a teacher is who I am. It defines me. It's who I was meant to be. When I became a teacher 13 years ago, there were things I knew to expect. I knew I'd never become a millionaire. I knew I'd have to deal with teenagers who never get enough sleep. I knew I might have to make the most of limited resources. But here is what I didn't know, and what I certainly didn't expect. I didn't think I'd ever have to worry about how I would get 25 students out of my second floor classroom window safely. I didn't think that every time we had a lockdown drill, I would seriously worry if this was the real thing. I didn't think that I'd spend my drives to work stressing about whether or not I'd return home that day to my husband and 2 children. I didn't think that when the whole school gathered for an assembly or an event, instead of enjoying the day, I'd be worried about how easy it would be for a shooter to open fire on all of us. And I certainly didn't think that one day our government would suggest that my colleagues and I carry guns to school to protect our students. My goal as a teacher has always been to arm my students with facts and inspiration, not shield them from bullets. School districts shouldn't have to be allocating more money to things like armed guards and metal detectors. We should be spending our money on programs that will help foster the next Albert Einstein or Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Here are 3 free history lessons. 18th century laws can't regulate 21st century guns. Here's another one. The Second Amendment was written for white male property owners. This makes gun control a women's rights issue and a civil rights issue too. And here's just one more. Nowhere in the Constitution does it give every individual the right to own a military-style weapon. My students know that you can't just pick out the parts of history that work for your narrative and leave out the rest. The gun lobby can learn something from them. Our founding fathers believed that liberty without regulation would lead to anarchy, which is exactly why the words well-regulated are written right there in the Second Amendment. In Tenafly, we teach our students not to be bystanders. We talk about standing up and doing something. Well, here it is. I want this next generation to see that it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you are fighting for what's right and you stand together, you can see positive change. The students started this movement. We need to support them. Let's support them until the only reason we can be this proud of them again is because of their academic achievements, instead of the tenacity with which they fought for their right to not be killed in their classrooms.
Okay, so before I begin, I want to start off by